So what I want to do is we'll do like a vacation recap, and I'll show you guys. I got some pictures. I don't have as many pictures as I would like, but I can show you guys some pictures, and we'll do a recap, and I'll try to talk about everything that happened. First up, we're gonna look at King right here. I stayed at my friend's apartment. It's like a share house in Tokyo, and this was the little dog that the landlord owned. His name was King. So the first 5 days of my trip, I was in Tokyo. So yeah, first 2 days I stayed in, where was it? Kumata is the name of the place. It's just a small place on the west side of Tokyo. And I met up with a couple of friends just on my first day there. I stayed in this small, like there's a whole chain of hotels in Tokyo called the Appa Hotel, and it's run by this very eccentric CEO. Let me see if I can find it. Appa Hotel Tokyo. Yeah, here she is. So this woman, she puts her picture on everything. So yeah. Like all of the all of the advertisements for the Appa Hotel, she's on everything. Like she has this very eccentric look. And so like if you picked up a bottle of water or anything like around the hotel or whatever, she has her picture on it. And yeah, she is the face of the hotel chain. But anyway, yeah, I stayed at that hotel and it was fine. It was like $70 a night. And that was $70. No, that was 70 USD. It was okay. It was a fine hotel. I just hung out, met a couple friends, and just had some good food. This is kakigori, which is shaved ice, and it's really good. So you just get it was so hot. Like Japan was over 100 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit basically the entire time I was there. It was over 90. So we're talking that's like, it was like over 40. It was 37 to 40 degrees Celsius the entire time for reference. And super, super, super humid, like max humidity. Yeah, 100 degrees Celsius. We all died. I died and then I resurrected and every single morning. That's what it felt like. Absolutely killer heat there. But yeah, it was like 40 degrees Celsius the whole time. But yeah, this was on the first day. It was so hot that we were basically just dipping into cafes and just getting like an iced coffee or something to cool down. And so this is kakigori. This is red beans, which are like adzuki, which are like sweet. They're like sweet beans. And so like very lightly sweet though. They have a very neutral flavor. And then this is just shaved ice, but the ice is shaved so smoothly that it's like cream. It's really weird. So it's just ice, right? But it's if you've never had it, yeah, it's a dessert. If you've never had this, the ice is like cream. It is so smooth. And then you pour on like here, this is a matcha green tea. It's like a sweet matcha green tea syrup that you pour on top of it. Yeah, like Hawaiian ice, but yeah, it's even better. Red bean paste with the green tea that you pour on top of it. It's really, really good. Absolutely delicious. So this was the first day, was basically just walking around. I went up to Asakusa. I wanted to go to my favorite soba restaurant, but it was unfortunately closed. Any crappy fried chicken? No fried chicken for me. Yeah, that guy that said, yeah, if you've never had fried chicken in Japan, karage, it's really, really good. These are incredibly good. I went up to Asakusa, walked around there. That's where we had the kakigori. Then went down to Shibuya. It was too hot. And then went down to Yokohama, which is down on it's like the southwest corner of Tokyo. And it's like along the coast. So it's much cooler. There was like an indie J-rock punk festival going on that we're walking past, and so like kind of cool music going on, and had really good food here. What did I have here? I forget what I actually went to a Thai restaurant. Funny enough, so this is China. This is the biggest Chinatown in Japan, in Yokohama. And yeah, weirdly enough, I had Thai food and it was really, really good actually. That was down in Yokohama. That was the first day. And then the second day, I was like, I guess technically the third day because I landed at night. I met up with my good friend that I've known for like, I don't even know, like 8 years now. And yeah, she's the one that was staying in the share house here with King. I just love King. He was so cute. Just this old dog with his tongue hanging out. She stayed in a share house with it was very interesting. It was a very, very old house in Tokyo. If you haven't seen what was it, Chris Abroad in Japan, he actually made a video about old houses in Kyoto a month ago or so, and her share house in Tokyo was like one of those. I don't know when this house was from. It could like this could have been like pre-World War II. It's really, really old, which the cool thing is it had a very traditional tatami room that we stayed in. It was me, her, and her husband. Like we're sleeping like college roommates basically. But like we rolled out the futons. It was actually we rolled out the futons at night, and they put on like anime on Netflix and got that whole fun experience. But the very next day after I met up with them is we woke up at 2 a.m. the next day. And this is at like 2:30 a.m. after driving for an hour. And this is down all the way down the west coast of like the peninsula southwest of Tokyo. And we woke up to go fishing. Let me see what's next. This is a very famous torii gate actually, where we were fishing. And let's see, there's a little video of it. So we got on this boat that is run by this British man who was like a businessman in Tokyo for many years. And he's like, you know what? I just want to be a fisherman. And so he retired from being a businessman in Tokyo and just runs a a fishing excursion thing. And so we woke up at 2:30 in the morning, or woke up at 2 in the morning, drove for an hour and a half, and went fishing in the morning. And yeah, we get our boat league here. So yeah, actually, the picture's not in the right order. Where's the picture of me holding the fish? Hold on. I gotta show the picture of me holding fish. Sheesh. So this is me. This is my friend and her husband. He's actually also from Massachusetts, funny enough. And then this is their friend Shogo. He's the guy that picked us up and drove. Yeah, we caught, in the end, I think we caught 7 mackerel. 4 of them were mine. And then my friend, she caught a grouper. And then there's also Angus here. He actually had a really big fish on the line for a while, but it shook the line off, unfortunately. It was really, really cool. We caught like 9 fish in total, I think. And then we brought them back to their friend's house and cleaned the fish and just had fresh mackerel cooked on a baguette. And then the friend that was there, she also made like a catfish curry stew as well. That was really, really good. We caught the fish in the morning and then we cooked it for dinner. And yeah, can't be more fresh, right? It was so good. Yeah, super, super delicious. That was awesome, like very memorable experience. There's another picture of King. And then the next day we went to a board game store, and we played some board games. Really fun, just kind of hanging out, escape the heat. Played some board games. They were in Japanese, so I had to look up the rules. I had to download like a PDF of the rules on my phone in English. We actually played Dominion, which I'm very familiar with, which was very helpful. Just to be able to play a game that is very simple. But yeah, eventually I was able to because I can read Japanese a little bit, but eventually, I recognized what all the words said. So yeah, we played Dominion in Japanese in Japan. Yeah, Dominion's a really fun game. So that was awesome. I won every game that we played. Ichikado o Hiku, draw 1 additional card. And then for dinner that night, and this was my last night in Tokyo, we went to a vegan gyoza restaurant in Tokyo, kind of near Oshiage is kind of, I think, where it was. But it was actually incredibly good. Like, all these were totally different flavors, and they were really, really, really good. Like, different, like, miso flavors and ginger, kimchi, and stuff like that. Absolutely delicious. And that was my last day in Tokyo. Then what I had to do is, because I was always randomly jet lagged and I was waking up super early. I think I woke up at like 6 a.m. My friend and her husband went to work at like 8. She's a doctor and he's like a growing famous artist in Tokyo. So they were off doing their work and, being real people. And so I hung out in their, my flight wasn't until 7:30 p.m. So I basically, I would go to 7-Eleven. It was so hot out too, right? It was 100 degrees. I didn't want to be outside at all. And that's actually where I recorded my video. If you guys didn't see this, I made a quick little video here.
Hello. And
oh my God, I didn't know. Really, it posted like that? Oh my, why didn't it? So I hung out with King all day. I didn't know it was like vertical and horizontal. Oh my God. I didn't know it posted like that. Thanks, YouTube. Yeah, so I recorded it on my phone. Why is it not vertical though? Why or why I recorded it horizontal. Why what the hell? Thanks, YouTube. Anyway, this is actually right in front of my friend's apartment. Her apartment's like right there. And this is like this used to be a nice park. My friend was telling me this was a
Crony.
really nice park with plants in it and people and everything. And they paved the whole thing over with concrete. And yep, that's unfortunate. I did not know it got posted like that.
This is where you play with balls.
What this actually says is boru asobi area. So this is ball playing area is what that says. So that's why I said this is where you play with balls. Yeah. We need that clip for Xarc, 100%. So anyway, that's the end of my Japan trip. I got on the flight at 7:30, and then this is my first picture in New Zealand. So it was a 10-hour flight, 10 to 10 and a half hour flight. So yeah, this was at a restaurant called Odette's that was, like 0.2 miles from the hotel. I landed at, I want to say about 7 a.m. in New Zealand time. So it was a 10-hour flight, and then New Zealand was 4 hours ahead of Japan. Then it's a 35-minute taxi. Oh, I fucked up. I got fleeced, by the way. I actually asked Bex and Mark, and they were like, yeah, that's not right. At the airport, I went out. I went to where the taxi area was, and there were they all look the same. So I think the taxi area at the airport is a scam. I was like, all right, taxi, and this guy, he wasn't in the front of the line though, and it said like corporate cab or something on the side. I think they all did though. It was like a nice, like a black car service inside. Basically, it before we even got on the highway, it said like $40, 40 New Zealand dollars. So, not real money. But yeah, it said $40. And I was like, that seems a bit high. And I looked it up as I was sitting in the back of the car. I looked it up, and I should have said something. It should cost max like $40 to $60 to go from the airport to downtown Auckland. Let's just say it went up to like $150 or something by the time we got to the airport. I was so jet lagged, and I wasn't in the mood to say anything. That was the first thing that happened. And then I was absolutely starving. I was jet lagged as hell and starving because I took a red eye. Also, I can't sleep on planes. Yeah, traveled like king. I can't sleep on planes at all. Like no matter what. Like I can like drift off for like maybe 30 minutes, but no matter what, I can't sleep on a plane. So, I was just tired as hell. So I looked up a restaurant, and this is Odette's that was, pretty close to the hotel. And this was my whole first experience getting to New Zealand, being at the whole event and everything. When I walked in, I saw directly to my right, Pi by Pi was sitting there with other people. And I was like, oh, I feel really uncomfortable. Like I felt like just like a regular person about to meet people, right? That, that I've seen on the internet and stuff. And so I felt totally out of my element. And so like I saw Pi by Pi over there. I was like, oh, I don't want to interrupt her. I took my seat, and like I was just kind of sitting there. Like I kept my sunglasses on. I just kind of kept my face down. But like as I was walking to the restaurant, there were people already looking at me. It's a very surreal experience being like a micro celebrity in a location. Like I immediately told my friend, I was like, it feels like, is this like what really hot girls feel like? Like all the time people are just kind of like staring at you behind your back. And so the funniest thing happened is like after I got my drink, I was sitting there, and someone walked behind me, and they're like behind me, and they're like subtract them, and then they like and then they like skittered off. So like someone was nervous about seeing me, and that actually made me feel a lot better that someone's nervous to meet me. So that's like, okay, that'll kind of set the tone a little bit. But anyway, I had my breakfast there. It was like a savory crepe with mushrooms and stuff. It was really good. Went back to the hotel. Then I went to registration and got my badge. And then I went back to the hotel and passed way the hell out. Absolutely way the hell out. Yeah, that was actually Chris Wilson. Here, I'll show you guys, and then I'll show you guys what I got from the swag bag right now. So we'll get to those later. So in the swag bag, you get the Exilecon 2023. Just the schedule and everything. No, I did not have time to play the card game. I opened the box. I looked at what cards I got. If my cards were good, I maybe would have thought of it, but I had really bad cards. Also, like it takes a lot of time, like to fully win and get the mirror and everything. It took a lot of time, and I wanted to just be available to talk with people and all that. Like my priority was not to, not to just play games. Uh, so one of the things that you got in the swag bag is this book, The Lord's Labyrinth. I actually really want to play it. This could be a fun thing that we could do on stream. Is we could do a Lord's Labyrinth playthrough. We could do this occasionally on stream. I think it'd be really fun if I did like a, like a dungeon master type of thing. So what it is a choose your own adventure RPG, where you go through the lab. This is like, in historical when Izaro was still alive, and you actually go through the lab, and it's a choose your own adventure. Like, do you take the left turn? Do you go through the traps or whatever? And then you can get like this. There are unique weapons from in the game. Like this is limb split right here, and then you roll dice, and you run. It's like a roguelike. So oh, there's a potion. Do you drink the potion or not? Does the potion make you, does it make you poison you or anything? Yeah, we could do chat polls for like what choice that we do. I think this would be really fun to do on stream. So it's really cool. It's thick too. This is a thick book. Yeah, it's got 400 pages. So yeah, super, super cool. I think this would be a fun thing that we could do on stream. Let's see. Oh, this is my badge. The person that printed the badge out, yeah, they put my real name on it. So all I did, this is very official, by the way. This looks very, very official. So I took in the hotel, I just wrote on a piece of paper. I just wrote subtract them. And see, because other content creators had their content creator name on it. But the guy at the thing for me said you can't do that, which was wrong because everyone else was able to do it. But anyway, I got my scuffed little badge here. This is the card game. And yep, so you fight them all. It's very simple. All you do is you choose weapon, shield, armor, amulet, 2 rings. The jewelry is very rare. And this was my starting deck: a crappy wooden hammer, a crappy corroded tower shield, a crappy wooden hammer, a crappy full plate. Full plate was okay. A crappy mallet, and that's it. So how many weapons is this? I had 3 weapons, 3 two-handed weapons, and then a shield and 1 armor, and that was it. So I had a really bad starting hand, which made me not even want to play anyway. Got my stuff. I passed out. I napped for like 4 hours. Then we had the VIP dinner, which... Oh yeah, I also got that. Where is it? I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in my bag downstairs. But I also got a divine. I got lucky here. I got a divine orb on the pin, which is really cool. Somewhere downstairs right now. And then after I took a nap for a few hours, I went to the VIP dinner. This was really fun. I actually sat at the table with almost all Path of Exile developers. So to my left was the guy in charge of MTX, and he asked all of us for MTX ideas. So hopefully he was like, yeah, just hit me with anything. We got a big pipeline of, I'm on the wrong scene. He said, yeah, just hit me with whatever ideas for MTX or anything that you got. And so we did that. The number one thing that my friend said is he said, hidden projectile MTX, just to help the performance. Yeah, just more cats, everything. What did I say? Funny thing is I said a portal that you actually go underground. And he was like, I don't want to say anything, but that was actually one of the portals that they showed in the MTX thing. Because I was saying like something like Abyss, and then sitting across from me was actually the lead level designer, and we actually had a discussion about different maps and everything. And like he said, I was like, so what about Gorge? I talked to the lead level designer about Gorge. I did my best, guys. I tried to throw it out there. He was like, I get it. I want to bring... He said he's been trying to bring Gorge back for a long time. He said it's just very challenging for it to fit in the, to rebalance it. So that's the excuse, at least. This was a VIP dinner. I met, a good number of people there. I didn't feel super comfortable at this point really hanging out with people too much. So let's see. The first person that I met there was Vel. She was very, very nice. She was super, super sweet. And then, actually, when I first walked in, There was Rise QT, Lily, Steel, and maybe some other people. And the first thing that struck me is I am definitely one of the shorter content creators. So I'm like 5'7" ish. I might be the second shortest. Well, so like me, Mathel, and I'll say me, Mathel, and Quinn is maybe only like 5'8". Mathel is like the same height. I'm like the exact same height as Mathel. Quinn's like 5'8". He's just like 1 inch taller than me. Ziggy's maybe like 5'7", or Ziggy might be like 5'8". He might be one inch taller than me. Lily is great. I love Lily. Am I taller than Steel? I am taller than Steel. Yeah, I'm probably like 2 inches taller than Steel. Translate in centimeters, I'm like 170 centimeters. Yeah, so the number one thing that struck me is Lily is like 6'2". Lily is very, very tall. Rise QT is very, very tall. He's like 6'4". My favorite thing about Lily is her personality in real life is like her on stream is just her. She's not like playing deadpan or anything. That is just exactly what she's like. But she's very, very genuine, and she was I liked her a lot. Kind of said hi to them, but didn't really hang out with them too much. Gazzy is very tall. Yeah, I guess I can talk about how tall I want. Gazzy is very tall. Grimro's probably about 6 foot tall. Gazzy's like 6'2". Gazzy's very, very tall. Yeah, Ziz is actually maybe 5'8". Ziz is almost about the same height as me. limb lengthening surgery. I actually wish I was shorter on those planes, I tell you what. Am I an introvert? I feel pretty comfortable when I have energy, but I need a lot of time alone to like recharge. So yeah, anyway, VIP dinner, met a lot of people. I actually hung out with Ziz a good amount at the end. Ziz, his wife Helene, was very, very sweet. I actually spent a good amount of time with Ziz. So yeah, hung out with them. It was very interesting seeing people interacting with Ziz specifically, wanting to like dump a lot of information on him. Ziz was very patient and very receptive. So yeah, that was the first night VIP dinner. I think I headed back pretty early. I want to say like 11-ish. I didn't stay out like really, really late. And then I passed out, woke up, I don't know, woke up very early, and then we went to the first day of Exilecon. Let's see, do I have too many pictures? Oh, this is this is the t-shirt that came in the swag bag. These are my shitty cards. There's the book. I guess I just got pictures of those. This is the line outside of Exilecon. Folks were very, very organized and very polite. I think that speaks a lot to the community that we have. Why is there a line? Because 2,000 people at 8 a.m. wanted to get inside one building. The line went very, very quickly, though. It was like, as soon as it started moving, it was max 5 minutes to get in. So this is kind of like the start of people like really recognizing me and walking up to me. And like I had to start acclimating to that. And it took a while. The first couple of hours are definitely like, what do I do? Like I'm walking past all these people. This is my first time. Everyone's recognizing me. And people are like, hey, sub, hey. And then, there's people that are, they're not as, socially comfortable, and they get, there's like two ends of the scale there, or like some people are nervous. So they just walk up and they're like, hey, sub. And they just walk away. And then there's other people that will nervously just not be able to stop talking. And, that's just what happens. When you're nervous, you have different ways that you function. But yeah, like learning how to like, okay, let this person talk for like 5 minutes, and then, all right, it was nice to talk to you. Got to go. Because there are some folks that will, they will sit there and talk to you as long as you stand there. And I let myself get caught a couple of times for like 15, 20 minutes. And the person would just keep talking and talking, and, nothing. It's just they're nervously responding. But yeah, I had to be really careful with my time there. Was the Chun-Li guy there? No Chun-Li guy. Then next up, so when we walked in, it was the venue was set up beautifully. And in fact, I can show you guys exactly what the venue looked like in game. Walking inside, they had these beautiful statues. There was a Trial Master. I actually thought that this picture was great because the Oshabi cosplay right there. This is, I know what this is. I know it's been leaked, but I don't want to say what this is because I know what this is. This is actually an important lore thing. So there's this thing, because I know GGG didn't want it to be leaked. So and then there was my girl Aziri right here. And then actually at the merch area, they had a Shaper statue. I didn't get a picture of that. So yeah, when you first walked in, there was Trial Master, this monster, and then Itziri over here. And the statues were gorgeous. They looked really good. The whole thing, as you can tell, was very misty and super super like very atmospheric and awesome when you first walked in. Like they it set the tone really awesome. And in fact, I can't. Oh, Path of Exile is frozen. Whoa! I've never had PoE freeze before. This is my first time booting up the game after the patch everyone's complaining about. Uh-oh. Path of Exile, how you doing, man? Is the patch really as bad as people are, yeah. That's not good. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying this patch is kind of scuffed for some people. So there was also an exclusive hideout, actually. So cool thing is, this hideout is Exilecon, which is really awesome. I mean, I have a very fast computer as well. I think it's just specific hardware. Path of Exile has never been the best for AMD. So yeah, this was the monster. We get no. This is wrong. This is wrong. In in Exilecon, Trial Master was on the right and Adziri was on the left. They did it wrong. But yeah, this is the first floor of Exilecon, which is kind of great. And then let's see where it goes upstairs. This is upstairs. Upstairs, it's all set up like Marrakech, desert people type of thing. And this is this is where the mobile demo area was, and down here is where the meet and greet area was. So that's the top floor, and then the bottom floor. Where's the stairs? Bottom floor right here. Yeah, the desert tile set looks really nice. I don't know if that's new. And then downstairs, this is where's the streamer stage? Yep, this is where the mobile demo happened. This was the streamer stage. There were no chairs here. This was concessions right here, and this is the streamer stage. And yeah, there wasn't really anything else downstairs. Oh, and then this is PoE 2 play area right here. This is where you play PoE 2. Yeah. So this is the hideout. This is the exclusive con hideout. So pretty cool that it looks like this. And then inside there was the delve wall, which is like there's like 3,000 cards or something like that, which is crazy. This is if you found Azurite, you could bring it to the delve wall and delve and use that or sulfite, I guess. I actually don't remember if they had it set up properly. But yeah, they would flip over the card and you would have like a random monster encounter. I don't know if they had boss encounters or what. And then there's also the crafting table or the atlas, where if you had a map, you could go to the atlas and they would, you could run a map and you would get 3 different random monster encounters. And then there was also a crafting table where you could use your currency to upgrade your items. So it's pretty cool. And then right after that, like very shortly, I think it was like 10:30 a.m. So they opened the doors at 9, and then 10:30 a.m. or 10 or 10:30, they did the actual keystone or the keynote. So this is the first folks that I met at Exilecon right here. Pi by Pi did a great Lycia cosplay, actually super super badass. And then yeah, that's as you can see, Gazi is so tall that he actually needs to be plugged in at all times to recharge. Like he actually runs out of energy if he's not plugged in. That's he just consumes so much. So yep, Gazi was very very nice. It was great to meet him. I ran into him a bunch of times. I regret not getting dinner with him this night. He invited me, but I already said yes to someone else. I think I should have gone and hung out with Gazi, but that's okay. Yeah, Gazi was doing like some live streaming stuff as he was walking around. Did he convince me to do minions? No. Yeah, this was before the keynote, and then we did the keynote. We'll briefly talk about PoE 2 and all that in a little bit, but yeah, Trial of the Ascendants and PoE 2, you guys saw the keynote. It was very cool. I'll just say this right now, after playing PoE 2, after playing all of it, I played for like 4 hours, I think. I played more PoE 2 than almost anyone, I think. After talking to a couple people at GGG, which we'll talk about at the end, I am very genuinely excited for PoE 2. So don't worry. Don't doom and gloom. It's going to be great. Let's see. And then this is the next morning. So I left the bar. I was so tired. I left the bar at like 10:30 p.m. And right before I went to bed at like 11:30, I got a message from a GGG employee saying, "Hey, if you want to, definitely let other content creators know. We're going to do a special play session of Path of Exile 2 just for you guys. So if you can show up at the door at 8 a.m., you guys can play for an hour and a half before we open doors. So you guys can get, a very, genuine experience there. Me and Ziz were the first two people there. I sent Ziz a message that night and I was like, yo, they're opening the doors for us early. So me and Ziz showed up really, really early. We got there right at 8 a.m. Yeah, this is the actual streamer client. And we sat down and we played for an hour and a half that morning. And yeah, it was great. Like me and Ziz kind of talking about things that we liked and that we didn't like and sharing ideas, talking about the stuff that we learned the previous days. Other people showed up a little bit later. We played for like an hour and a half that morning. Ziz actually did very well. He played, that morning he played the warrior, and I think he almost beat the last boss of the warrior. He did very, very well. That morning I played the monk. Did I play just the monk? I played the monk and the warrior that morning. The monk was definitely set up. So yeah, since this is us playing PoE 2, I'll talk about it now. So the problem was, and like that we had the developers were there. They said they were basically, running up against the edge of the demo. Like they were preparing things the very last day, kind of setting everything up. So they didn't have everything tuned exactly how they wanted it. Octavian said that he was told to make it basically as hard as possible while still, at the very edge of human capability of beating it. So it was tuned to be as hard as possible, basically. I'm not sure. That's not what I would have done. I probably would have I would have had at least one of them be overtuned, for the player's power and allow you to really experience a little bit more. They definitely don't know what the end game zoom and all that is going to feel like. It will be zoomy, don't worry. I got that direct confirmation from Mark. They tuned it very, very difficult. So Monk was like an intro character. So Monk was Act 1. He only had 3 abilities the whole time. So he was very, very simplistic and yeah, very undertuned. He had like all white gear, like literally white gear, like maybe 1 blue piece. So he was like really, really weak, and he only had 3 abilities, didn't do much. Act 2 was Act 2 Huntress? I think Act 2 was Huntress. So Act 2 was by far my favorite. She felt awesome. Her abilities felt incredible. The Storm Javelin felt exactly like Lightning Arrow. Like it felt like Lightning Arrow. Like I would shoot a javelin and the entire screen would get prolift lightning and die, and it was awesome. She had this really cool, it kind of looked like Blade Storm. She had this like sand storm ability that would blind all enemies in the area. So great defensively, but then when you left the area, they would explode and you could stack them. So what I would do for defensively, I would stack like 5 of them and it would last as long as you stood in that. So then I would fight some monsters, and then she had this ability where she would stab her javelin into a monster and then jump off the javelin and fly backwards, and it was super badass. So I would queue up a lot of those sandstorms, fight the monsters a little bit, and then I would stab a monster and jump away, and then all of those sandstorms would explode, and they did really, really good damage when you stacked them a lot. Yeah, it was like a disengage. It was really, really cool. This is number 1. Huntress number 1 right here. I had to buy the t-shirt. She felt really, really good. She also had like a multi-strike attack that if you did the whole multi-strike and then let it do like an additional hit at the end, it did really, really big damage. Yeah, I played like 4 hours. She felt awesome. What I think about the role? The role is okay. It's interesting. I think it does make the gameplay more dynamic and interesting. It needs to be tuned, but it doesn't feel like a Diablo 4 evade. Like Diablo 4 evade is like you get 1 every 5 seconds, right? Or you get a little bit more if you have boots on. This felt way closer to like a Dark Souls Elden Ring style role where you're not fully invincible, or it's not just like get out jail free, but it is something that you tactically use during combat, and you can spam it if you want to. So the role felt fine. It does improve the combat of the game. So yeah, Huntress felt incredible. I loved it. Like she had puncture, and so I could puncture the enemies, and then I would do disengage, and the enemy would walk to me, and it would take all the bleed damage. And then she had this like rain of javelins thing that would leave hundreds of javelins, like literally hundreds of javelins in the ground. And then the monsters would get maimed and take explosion damage as they walked over the javelins. Really, really cool abilities. It was really, really awesome. I loved the way that Huntress felt. And that was the best part of Path of Exile 2. And now we can talk about Sorceress. Oh, it was beautiful. Also, yeah, Path of Exile 2, gorgeous. Path of Exile 2, better looking than Diablo 4. 100%. Like, I actually don't even think it's a competition because the environment was so like, it wasn't just a static rendered environment. Like, monsters would bust through walls. You could knock things down, and it was actually like it almost felt like an interactable environment. And yeah, the lighting and the water effects and everything, gorgeous. Like, straight looked and sounded better too. Like, they gave us really nice headphones, and the head, like, these were, I think these are Sennheiser headphones, so they're really high quality headphones on, and it looked and sounded better than the out. Like, really, really, really good sound as well. Like, you can't tell if you're not like in it, but it felt so good. So yeah, like, their art and sound and everything knocked it out of the park. So yeah, Huntress and then Sorceress. So Sorceress, I think, had too many diverging ideas. Like, I think they really wanted to throw the whole kitchen sink at you and really experience everything that they had. And I think that they ramped up the complexity of Sork by muddling everything in a way that made it not feel like, I think the abilities themselves by themselves were good, but the way that the character was set up was overly complex in a way that did a disservice to how it actually could feel because the characters are so undertuned, right? The main way that it was set up. So if you remember from the keynote, like, there's a weapon swap thing with an automatic passive skill tree. Oh, that's another thing, is we didn't have access to the passive tree. We couldn't even look at it. So that was kind of because they're not done with it. That was kind of annoying. Every time you leveled up, there was like, it wasn't exciting. But the weapon swap was like, the way it was set up was you had one staff that had like +1 to lightning gems or something like that with a fireball on it. And then the other one was with the unleash, right? When you did the unleash, you hit the staff on the ground, you get the unleash buff. That was on a different weapon with like +1 to cold skills. So the idea was you would do unleash and then cast comet, and you would, do the triple comet, which felt really good. Like, that did feel really impactful. You felt like a badass sorcerer, like triple meteor, and then you could, if you got spell echo or something, you could have like 6 meteors. Unfortunately, the weapons, like, it was all really, really slow. Like, I hope that this is something that it's like you can deal with cast speed. They tune the numbers and all that. So you would be sitting there casting spark, and then, oh shit, I want to cast a frost skill, and so the weapon swap would be set up. Okay, I want to swap to so I'm in the middle of combat, I'm casting spark. Oh shit, I want to cast frost wall for defense. It would take a full second for the staff to come out, and then you have to do the cast speed. And if you get stunned during anything, and these characters were so undertuned, almost every hit was stunning the Sork. Then you were just absolutely out of luck, and you would lose your unleash buff. You would have to recast everything. It felt really bad. So Sork got stunned by any little hit that came in. The Arctic armor buff was not sufficient to stop you from getting stunned, and the comet cast time, I think, was like 3.5 seconds. And I think it got longer when you had unleash. I think it was like 4.5 seconds when you had the unleash buff. Like, it felt like it was longer. So what I ended up doing is I went to the skills panel, I turned off weapon swap entirely, and I made it so I only used the +1 lightning skill staff. I just turned off weapon swap, and I only used there's the arcane storm spell, and like that buff, when you stood inside of it, it would give you a stacking lightning damage buff. I think it was stacking, I could be wrong. But you get additional lightning damage, and then I only used arc. I ended up like turning off every other skill basically. I used the had Arctic armor on, and then I used arc and the lightning storm thing, and it felt fine. Unfortunately, like, comet felt good, but with a 3-second cast time, it just took way too long. So yeah, Sork unfortunately was overly complex. Spark did like 0 damage. Arc did okay damage. Comet did good damage, but the cast time was too high. And I think that was all of her skills. That was the setup there. I mean, no, the intent, no, and Frost Nova. Yeah, no, the idea was you had Frost Nova, and you could freeze them and then cast Comet. But I found, like, the amount of time to set that up, right? It was like, okay, I gotta cast Frost Nova. And the Frost Nova even wasn't an instant skill. It had a cast time. So I had to Frost Nova and then sit there 3 seconds, cast Comet, and then hopefully the Comet killed them. And if the Comet didn't kill them, then, that whole setup was for nothing, where I could have just done Arcane Storm and, 2 or 3 arcs and killed them. Cool feeling and looking abilities, but in the end, I think she was just way undertuned, and she needs a lot of love. Speaking of way undertuned and needs a lot of love, if you saw Mathel's playthrough, basically the same idea is Warrior was very, very slow. Leap Slam was the only mobility skill that we had in the whole demo. I mean, there was the hollow palm thing, or whatever it was called, the thing that the monk had, so he could teleport two monsters, but it did 0 damage. All it did was Culling Strike. Like, it did less damage than basic attack. Like, with the monk, this morning, I actually unbound all of my abilities except for basic attack. Kind of make a point. So I was just walking around right-clicking with basic attack, and the developer standing behind me, he's like, where's your other moves? And I was like, well, I looked at the DPS, and my basic attack is doing 19 DPS, and all of the other abilities are doing 9. So the fact that I can do, I could do more damage in one basic attack than using my special ability twice. It was just super mistuned, right? Totally mistuned. And Warrior had a whole bunch of really neat ideas. So he had Sunder. Sunder felt really slow and undertuned. The way that Sunder was set up is your basic special ability was called Armor Break, I think. And so you had this just regular hammer smash that would break the enemy's armor, and then Sunder would get like a 300% more damage multiplier. So the idea was to break their armor and then do Sunder, and then Sunder would one-shot after that. But because of the setup, you have like a single target setup and then a multiple target skill, and it felt really, really clunky. And what I ended up doing is he had this really cool ability called like rolling slam or something, where he would smash his hammer on the ground, do a forward flip, and then smash the hammer again. And that combined with Infernal Cry actually felt pretty good. So I would Infernal Cry and then do like the rolling hammer smash, and that had decent clear. He also had the supercharged hammer attack that would charge up for 3 full seconds. And the minimum charge time was 1 second. So if you tap that button, you were locked in place for 1 second. And then it would charge up for 3 seconds and then do a real big slam on the ground. And it was literally just called Supercharged Slam. And it hit really hard, but for 3-second charge up time, I just ended up using the rolling hammer a lot. That's all for the demos. Like, I don't know. I don't think many people beat the Warrior demo at all entirely. And then you had 45-minute sections that you could play. So with that said, because of how good the Huntress felt, and we did see that Crip upgraded his Huntress weapon a little bit, and it made everything feel way better. I really, really think that the demo was so overtuned to like making the enemies as hard as possible. I do think it did a very big disservice to what they actually have here. If they just had better gear, like not even way, but just twice as good. Like if everyone had all rare gear, like half the gear was white or blue. If everyone just had all rare gear, and maybe add like 2 or 3 levels to the characters, I think it would have just felt way better for everybody, and it wouldn't have people wouldn't be as worried. Because yep, I think the characters were just mistuned because how good the Huntress felt. Like, she felt as good as anything that I could imagine in that game. And now it is a very different game. Path of Exile 2 is a very, very different game. And yes, we will be able to zoom for some perspective, for some definition of zooming, right? But, probably not. One of the things that Mark told me directly is they do want to focus on visual clarity, being able to tell how you died and all that type of stuff, and make that is a very high design priority for them. But also, Mark, Neon, when I was talking to Chris and Mark, spoilers, I asked the question, like, hey, people are worried about PoE 2 and zooming and all that. And Chris said, all right, so just so you guys know, Mark is he is one of the people in charge of Path of Exile 2. The reason why PoE 1 is so zoomy is because of him. He's the guy, not me. He's the guy that made PoE 1 so zoomy and crazy, and he's one of the guys in charge of PoE 2. Don't worry. And then Mark just smirked at me. Don't worry. It's still going to be a really fast, great feeling game. Seriously, it was so beautiful. The audio was so good. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. The abilities feel good. I actually think that's a great thing to start from, is most abilities in PoE 1, right, are until you throw a lot of money at them, they don't feel incredible, right? Yeah, now I got a Giga Tornado Shot character and I can do whatever, and I can one-shot bosses. But the most abilities in PoE 1 don't feel chunky. Almost every ability in PoE 2 felt chunky, and it had that. I'm the Dark Souls fan, right? So, if you don't care about chunky hits, you're not going to care. But when you got that big berserk sword in Dark Souls, you got that 2-handed sword, you dodge that one thing, and kunk, you hit them with that big heavy strike. Oh, that feels good. And they captured that. It has that awesome interactive combat feel. And I think that's a great place to start. It's a great starting point. Anyway, that's Path of Exile 2. Be excited for it, promise. It was very fun. This is the first thing. Oh, do I got a trade? Oh my, hold on, guys, hold on. I'm gonna be a good little, look at this. Look at this. The league is almost over. In the middle of my Exilecon, I'm a good guy. I'm gonna help out the, oh, he's also an Exilecon, the con hideout. Look at this guy. Back from Exilecon, looking to do trades. We're here to lubricate the economy. Anyway, this is at 9:30. This is right after me and Ziz stopped playing PoE 2. And yeah, this was I haven't been able to actually see any of this. So, maybe on the stream tomorrow, we can just like click through some of the things that I missed. And because I want to catch up and kind of see things. I watched this a little bit from the sidelines. You can kind of see like they had so much like professional TV camera equipment. There was like on like a gigantic like lever gimbal thing. The camera like going all around and everything was like crazy intense. There's like a Taskmaster woman like, hurry up, hurry up. Yeah, this is me and Lily did the meet and greet. After that, this was at like 2 p.m. So Steele was actually not feeling well, and they were originally asking me to take over on Steele's playthrough, and Noogie ended up doing it, but I was originally going to do that Path of Exile 2 playthrough on stage, and I wish I could have done it. Would have been really, really awesome to be able to play PoE 2 on the main stage, but unfortunately, my meet and greet time was exactly at that same time, and it would have conflicted. We did the meet and greet with Lily here. It was super fun. Really great meeting everybody. Super surreal experience. So I met Crip. Crip was very, very nice. It was great to meet him. Yeah, this is me and Havoc. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. This is the picture. That's what we're supposed to do, is the thumbs up right here. But yeah, the meet and greet was really good. It was great to meet everybody. Signed a lot of pictures with people and everything. It was great. This is the line for people wanting to meet us. Signed all sorts of different stuff. Then I met Badger. Badger was very, very nice. He was there. Badger was super sweet. Just as friendly in real life. This is when I met Crip. And then this is the race. I got some pictures of the race. Woo, that race was something else. That was absolutely incredible. I feel so bad for Havoc, but I think the added drama of all that actually made it, I feel so bad for him, but it made it it made it pretty dramatic. I like the pictures. We got Ty. Man, Havoc was he was in Terminator mode. Holy shit. And then I'm Exile. I actually did get a picture of Ty 23. I didn't get the the famous flex picture. Front row seats. I was like the second or third row, sitting there. Like my neck hurt. Actually, I think it still hurts a little bit because I was just cranked up, like staring at the whole thing. It was so intense. I was so nervous being there. I think that's just the best race we've ever had in PoE. It was so, just everything happening and all that. I feel so bad for it. Like, it sucks because normally if Chris caught it, they could have restarted the race, and they probably should have off of that crash. But the extra drama of what actually happened there, Exile not getting the chance orb until I think he did get a chance orb, I think, off of Malachi. And then, but he was still like 30 seconds ahead, and he lost all that time in Belly of the Beast. Like, he still would have won if he had better pathing in Belly of the Beast, which is crazy. But I met up with Havoc after the afterwards. Havoc actually can smile. He's not just full Terminator. And the great thing is, we actually, over a couple of drinks, we started throwing out ideas for League Start stuff. We're already planning on doing collaboration again for League Start, so we'll get a Havoc leveling guide and all that type of stuff, which is gonna be really sick, based on like the support gems that they showed. So we have some ideas. That's gonna be really, really sick. Having the top 4 racer in the world doing the leveling guide for your League starters, pretty darn good. But we gotta wait for patch notes. And then this is the same night. This is me, Steel, Tai. That's Gucci. That's Rise. He has to bend down to fit in the picture frame, of course. And then that's Virio, who is he does a lot of organization stuff for, like, I think he's like the main guy who does Gauntlet, right? Super awesome hanging out with everybody. And this was like the night of the second Exilecon. Super, like, just such a memorable experience. Like, I'm so happy that I went. And is Ty in the picture? Oh yeah, I do have Ty 23. There he is. There he is. Yeah, also Ty 23, he went to dinner with a lot of those guys. Gigantic, like he did the most Giga Chad thing ever. They all went to dinner, like 10 people. He got up to go to the bathroom. He paid the whole bill and walked out. He's like, all right, I just won $10,000. Pay the bill, walked out. And everyone's like, what the? Yeah, yeah. Absolute Giga Chad. He was flexing the whole night. And he was very I said hi to him. He was very quiet and reserved when he was around other people. He's just there to flex. And then the next morning, I woke up super, super early. Is it in the picture here? Oh, I got some pictures. I woke up super, super early. This was Odette's the second morning. I cannot recommend the restaurant enough. They were really good at substituting things as well. Delicious, delicious food, and really liked it. And the prices, because it's all in New Zealand dollars, are very, very good exchange rate for me. So yeah, delicious, great breakfast. And then after this, because GGG felt really bad about the mobile interview, we're still working on it. I let me see. Oh, I might even have an email. Not an email yet. We're still working on it. I got to get the footage from them. But they felt really bad about the mobile interview, and Bex hard carried me through the whole thing. She was like, "I'll make this right. You know, we'll make everything really we'll make this right." I got invited to go to Grinding Gear Games. I took an Uber to their office, and I met with. Let me see if I have. Let's find a picture here. On the phone, little spoilers, is I got to interview Chris and Mark, and no job offer. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I got to interview them, and it was a very long. It was a full hour. Unfortunately, there's some technical issues, so we're working through that right now. But that's going to be coming very soon. And it was as them basically apologizing for the mobile stuff. So that will be coming very soon. I'm super, super excited for it. It was a great conversation. It was really, really awesome. Yeah, I can't thank them enough for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to the technical issue with Apple TV, yeah, giving me opportunity to go to Exilecon, and like this is such a special the whole thing was such a special, unique experience, and I can't wait for the next one. So that was my experience with going to New Zealand and Japan first, and can't wait for the next one. That's it, man. Anything else? Oh yeah, I just want to show you guys the stuff that I bought. I think they had this at the last Exilecon, but I missed it, and I really wanted it. I got the art book. I should have gotten folks to sign it, but yeah, this thing is gorgeous. This thing's super, super awesome. I didn't get a mirror pin, no. Oh my god. Can't show that on stream. Yeah, Path of Exile art is a little risque. Yeah, super, super cool. Yeah, there was some booba there. There was one of the miscreants. Let's see. I got the Chaos Orb socks. I got these guys. I didn't buy the cat socks because they didn't look Path of Exile enough to me. I liked them, but not Path of Exile enough. Yep. And then just quickly show my shirts that I got here. I bought a lot of them. This was basically my whole wardrobe because I only brought like 4 t-shirts. So I basically just kept going back to the merch store and buying more t-shirts when I needed more shirts. So this is the Huntress. She was my favorite class in PoE 2. Super excited about that. This is the Vol Orb shirt. I think it's just a classy, nice looking shirt. Just says Path of Exile on the sleeve right here. Yep, had to get the Headhunter shirt. It just looks awesome too. It's just a great looking shirt. Real good print on this one. Then of course I had to get this. These ones are really cool. The other one was Blood Magic. But do you guys know what this is? Can you guess? Kind of hard to tell actually. It is Chaos Inoculation. It is actually CI. Nope, it's CI. It's it's kind of hard to tell because of what they do. Right. Like it's got the spiky stuff and the heart and everything, right? So got that. This was the Exilecon shirt. Everyone got in their swag bag. I have no idea who that guy is. No, the camera was there on purpose so people could see both. And then this is Solaris and Lunaris. Yo, Grumble. Let's go, dude. 30. Sheesh. This is just a really cool shirt. This was from Exilecon 1. Anyway, that's I think that's everything that I got and that I bought. I'm gonna be late for dinner if I don't hurry up right now. Thank you guys for hanging out in my little review of Exilecon and Path of Exile 2. It's gonna be good. I really think you guys should be excited for PoE 2. I know I am after playing it. Don't worry. Don't listen to those fucking doom and gloom. God, the Reddit post like made me really just like, what the hell, man? It was crazy. It was like they nerfed Harvest all over again. People were like losing their minds. I don't know. They got to calm down. We'll be back tomorrow with a a longer stream. What are we going to talk about tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe we'll start talking about League starters and all that type of stuff. Really excited for it. I'm going to go get dinner. Probably just pass out afterwards because of jet lag. And we'll be back tomorrow with a chunkier, longer stream. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.